Hey, good morning, Internet. Chris Krug here at the C100. I'm here with C100 co-founder Chris Albinson. Good morning, sir.
Hey, how are you, man?
Yeah, really good. We are here at Google HQ for day 2 of our CEO Summit, and we're just getting started.
Right on. Gonna be a great day.
Yeah. Chris is a startup guy. He is the founder of Founders Circle Capital.
Yep.
And just like huge supporter of Canadian startups down here in the Valley in general. To that extent, he founded the C100. Tell me a little bit about the kind of founding of the C100.
Well, Anthony and Lee and I got together for lunch in 2008. And the recession was happening, and there's an expression, if U.S. gets a cold, Canada gets the flu.
Absolutely, yeah.
Well, the U.S. had the flu. Canada had something way worse.
Deathbed.
It was ugly. It was tough. And so a lot of entrepreneurs were like, "Hey, I can't get capital. I can't get access to markets. Like everything was kind of collapsing around us." And I had this amazing experience going to India with the expat community, started here in the Valley, an organization called Thai, and I was just amazed about the flow of ideas and capital, back and forth between India and the Valley and the expats. And Anthony had done something similar with the Israelis and had a great experience in Israel.
Also well known for supporting their people and the flow back and forth between the Valley and Tel Aviv and Jerusalem.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we thought, hey, maybe the Canadians might, help each other out. And we thought there were a few Canadians in the Valley, but we didn't really honestly know how many. There's 300,000 Canadians in the Valley.
Isn't that like 1% of the population of Canada or something like that?
Something like that.
Yeah, it's pretty close. I
It's
think
crazy.
Maybe 0.5%, but yeah.
We thought there was like 4 or 5 people doing venture capital. There's like 47 Canadians in all the best venture capital firms. And then we thought there were a couple Canadians in the best NASDAQ 100 companies. Turns out there's a Canadian on the senior executive board of every NASDAQ 100 company, including these guys.
Patrick Paquette, CFO of Google.
Our own Patrick, yeah, right on. And so it was really cool. We started the organization, and it was if you remember, it was right after the Winter Games in Vancouver, and Canada had done this really cool thing, which we
own the podium.
On the
Right,
podium.
we're gonna get some gold medals this time around.
Yeah, we'd never done it before. It's like, hey man, we're gonna go win. And the cool thing about that was we ended up winning more gold medals on home soil than any Olympic Games ever. So if you dream big, you go after big goals, you can make it happen.
They invested in it. They put aside some money. They did better training, made sure that we brought home some medals.
And they worked hard at it, and the results, were incredible. And so actually, that really inspired the Canadians down here in the Valley that, hey, Canada finally wants to win. That's awesome. And so I think those things coming together at the same time, this need that we're hearing from Canadian entrepreneurs, the Canadian expat community down here getting really fired up and super patriotic about Canada wanting to win, said, what if we brought that metaphor to tech?
Yeah.
And so we started, very simply pulled together a group of 65 of the best, most accomplished Canadians in the Valley and said, hey guys, I want you to give up your time to help young Canadian entrepreneurs. And on top of giving up your time to do that, we want you to write a personal check.
Right, give up a little money too.
Yeah, $750.
Yeah. Invest.
And there's an expression down here in the Valley called, if you're going to fail quickly. So we figured, how can you test, if people are really committed or not? Say, write a check, give us your time.
Yeah.
And everybody in the room did it.
Cool, man.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
So flash forward.
Yeah, where do we stand today?
Today, the Canadian ecosystem is just crushing it. We've had over 4 billion exits of companies, startups.
$4 billion worth of exits, yep.
So $4 billion from here in the Valley back into Canada. Salesforce bought 2 companies, Google's bought 2 companies, Twitter's bought 2 companies, IBM's bought a couple of companies. That's all really cool, but it's still not the gold medal. That's just the bronze medal. But the other thing that I think is really leading up, to your point about training and putting the rails in place for the gold medal, is the amount of investment of both people and dollars from the Valley up in Canada. And so
we're creeping up on almost $1 billion now, aren't we?
It's amazing. Like from 2008, where the patient was basically dead, the signal was flatlined. We're just about to cross the $1 billion mark.
That's so cool, man.
It's awesome.
Okay, so to this effect, you have a really cool little thing you want to show us here. I'm also strategically switching arms because I can barely move.
Oh, cool.
So Chris released this yesterday. This is iteration 2 of the Tech in Canada map.
Yeah, this was Lars Lecky's idea from Hummer Windblad. One of the things that we found when we were going coast to coast was, the guys in Vancouver didn't know about the cool companies in Toronto, and the guys in Toronto didn't know about the cool companies in Montreal. And one of the things that the Valley does a great job of is celebrating their success and really amping it up. And you know, you can't go for a gold medal unless you know somebody who's done it and you know can aspire to that. And so that's one of the reasons why we had Jack Dorsey come to Toronto last year. But just talk about, you know, we need to, you know, build billion-dollar companies, billion-dollar revenue companies in Canada, rooted in Canada. And we've got some awesome companies that are on that way.
I see Hootsuite.
They're
I see Shopify.
You got Beyond the Rack in Montreal. You've got, you know, these really awesome companies, FreshBooks in Toronto, that are really growing, really well financed, awesome entrepreneurs that just basically want to build world-changing companies. And so we're on the right path. You don't have that real gold medal yet, but we're on the way.
Awesome. Well, I'll hang one up in my studio on Galiano Island.
Right on.
Which leads me to one small point. I know for a fact that DabbleDB, Avi Bryant's company, was acquired by Twitter, and I don't see a logo down here.
Yeah, we got to get it on.
Yeah, so we got to get the islands on the map there.
Right on.
Cool. Thanks, Chris. It's been a pleasure being a part of this organization. I think it's really strong, represents Canada well down here, and we'll just keep on trucking towards the goal, man.
Right on.
Cool.
Thanks, brother.
All right. KK and Chris Albinson over and out from Google HQ's CEO Summit.
See you guys.